Good evening. After the 10-minute cooling off period, Louisville will be coming to the dais first. As of now, they are bringing Jones, Durr, and Hines Allen. Please remember to silence all pagers. Silence all cell phones. Pagers haven't been around since the 80s. It is beeper friendly. There's also no filming and no videography in the interview room area. We will have 2 microphone holders. Please raise your hand and wait for a microphone. Please try and address a specific student athlete with your questions to help us with ASAP quotes. We have several deadlines and limited time, so we may not get to all questions this evening. So if you do need any additional information, please arrange that with the school's SIDs. Thank you. Just 5. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. That way. Yeah. Hi, Danbury. Nice to meet you. So just to go over a few things. Don't give the mic to anyone until you have mic contact with me, because there are some people that we need to take care of first before others. And that's really just kind of working on quickly, stay low, because it could get your head in the camera vision. So just really kind of keep your eyes focused on me the whole time. I think you should do front and back today. Yeah, because most of the media will be right actually be better off just on the side here, yeah, because everybody back there are just kind of team people, hangers-oners. Yeah. Louisville is on their way to the dais. Their locker room is now open. It will be open for 30 minutes. Louisville locker room will close at 10:02 p.m. Joining us on the dais from Louisville, head coach Jeff Walls, student athletes Jasmine Jones, Asia Durr, and Maisha Hines-Allen. We'll take an opening statement from Coach Walls, and then we'll take some questions for the student athletes.
All right, thank you. Just first want to congratulate Vic and Mississippi State. What a great ball game. I mean, back and forth runs by both teams. It was a great ball game. I thought we competed. We played our hearts out. I thought they played their hearts out. It's just an unbelievable basketball game. And I'd like to thank these three next to me and the 9 in our locker room right now. It was one of the most enjoyable seasons that I have had in coaching, and it's not because of our record. It's because of these young women. They're not only great basketball players, but they're great people. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know, the most disappointing thing to me right now is that we're not going to get a chance to practice tomorrow. And that's the tough part of this. Athletics is a wonderful thing. It's a great thing, boy, but there's some ups and downs that just kick you square in the ass. And right now, this is one of those. But you can't let a moment define you. You've got to figure out what are you going to do to be able to get back here next year, and then make sure that doesn't happen. But, you know, Maisha Hines-Allen, she's a young lady that we've had 4 wonderful years together. And I treat them all like they're my own daughters. There's ups and downs. They don't like me a lot. My 4.5-year-old doesn't like me a lot. So it's okay. It's called parenting. But the one thing I do know is this young lady is going to walk out of here with a degree, and she's prepared for life. There's no doubt in my mind. No matter what Maisha decides to do, she's going to be successful. And we take great pride in that here. Is not only winning basketball games, but making sure they are productive citizens, can make a contribution when they're out there. Because as my grandfather says, at 96, that's the most important thing I can do as a coach is make sure they go out there and they're productive and they contribute, because he needs to keep getting his Social Security check. So he wants them to get good jobs and pay taxes. So it's just, it's a tough one, but I couldn't be more prouder than these young women. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes? We'll start right here in the front.
Maisha, into regulation, overtime, what was going through your mind as you see the shot go up right there at the end of regulation?
No, when she shot the ball, or wait, who shot?
The shot right there at the end of regulation.
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I seen it go up, and I was like, hope she misses, of course, because then we would have won the game. But I mean, she's a phenomenal three-point shooter. It's a phenomenal team that we just played. It was, you know, a mental breakdown that we had, and she got that open look.
Question in the middle here. There's a mic to your left.
Aisha, on your layup near the end of regulation, you cut to your left and it was an open lane in the basket. Did you think for a second about taking the ball out rather than laying it in, or do you think you left them too much time?
Well, the last play I had an open layup and I decided to dribble it out, and my teammates told me, "You had an open layup, shoot the layup."
Yeah.
I got the opportunity again, and I wasn't gonna, disappoint my teammates.
That was the right
so-
decision. You want to score because they're going to foul you anyway, and you're going to have to go to the free throw line and make 2 free throws. So that was the right move. I told them if you've got a layup, you take it.
Question here in the front.
Howie Lindsay, 790 KRD. Jasmine, how tough was it to defend and this Mississippi State team that had so many different options?
It was really tough. They have great guards all down their team. Victoria, she's a great player. She's an All-American. It was really tough guarding her. And then they're three-point shooters because they could spread out the floor when they're driving. So it was really tough tonight.
Anything else for the student athletes? We'll take one more here in the middle.
Yeah, Jasmine or Asia or Maisha, there at the end of overtime, it seemed like their number 15, Tiara, kind of stepped it up a little bit. Could you sense that out on the court, that she became a little bit more of a force?
No, she was doing that all game. How many rebounds did she have today?
25.
25 rebounds, so I don't think it happened in the last 5 minutes of the game. But, she's a phenomenal player, too. She's an All-American. Kudos to her. She did a great job in overtime.
Final question for the athletes here.
Question for Asia. When you think of Maisha Hans-Allen, what comes to mind?
You got it.
I'm sorry. Can't talk. When I first got here, she did so much for me. My first year here was so hard for me, and she was the one who brought me through, took me underneath her wing. And she's done so much for our program. She's a great person, man. She played her butt off tonight. It's been so fun to play with her my 3 years, and I will miss her a whole lot, and I'll be by her side throughout her career. If she needs anything, I'll be here. I wish the best of luck to her, and I know she's gonna do great things.
Thank you, ladies. They're going to head back to the locker room. They'll be available in the locker room. We're going to start with questions for the head coach. We'll start with a question right here in the corner.
Coach, congratulations on a wonderful season.
Thank you.
You mentioned it in the press conference before, but how was probably the biggest difference. What did you tell your post players to try to do to keep her out, maybe push her out so she wasn't a factor on the offensive glass?
Well, we were trying to push her out away from the basket, trying to make it as difficult as we could. I thought, Sam competed and fought all night long. All of them did. Maisha did a heck of a job in there competing and fighting. Tara's a great player. We all know that. She did a phenomenal job on the offensive glass, and that was the one concern that we had, was trying to keep her off the offensive glass, trying to face guard her, do whatever we could. And unfortunately, it just we weren't able to do it. But I couldn't be prouder of a group. It's a tough one. It's tough. It sucks.
Question for Coach. You hear it back here in the middle.
Jeff, what was your view of Sam's fourth foul and her technical foul?
Well, I can't comment on much. I'll get in trouble. But I just can't. She slapped the floor out of frustration. She wasn't trying to mock the officials or anything like that. Whatever. They're all paid a good amount of money to be out there officiating. So, what do I know about that? It's tough. She's battling the entire game, getting beat up too. It was physical underneath there, and it's just it's a shame it has to come down to that. And if she had said something derogatory to the officials, which if she did, then she definitely deserved it. Slapping the floor, who knows? That was a 5-point swing. So, yeah, it impacted the game.
Question right here.
Coach Howard Mandel, High Post Tubes. Congratulations on the season that you had.
Thank you.
I just want to return to Tiara for a minute because you talked before the game about essentially having a plan A, plan B, a plan C, and a lot of that really did pay off. I mean, she didn't get a field goal until 2 minutes left in the first half, and you guys really, even down the stretch, were denying her the ball. You see her still end up with 21 and 25. Does it just feel like this is the best you can hope for at any team playing against her?
We had a 3-point lead with 11 seconds to go. I mean, you guys make it sound like that we just got our ass kicked. I mean, we competed. These young women, we did a heck of a job. We knew that we weren't going to be able to hold her scoreless. I mean, I had talked before about just guarding everybody else and see if she could score 50 on us. Well, she got 25 rebounds halfway there on the board's part. But, I thought we did a really good job on her. I thought we did a really good job. But you got to give Johnson credit. She goes 2 of 6 from the field and hit probably the biggest shot in her career.
Question here in the front.
Paige, Cardinal Sports Zone. When you think about Louisville greats, you think of obviously Angel McCaughtry, Candace Bingham, Shoni Schimmel. How does Maisha fit into that category?
Well, you're looking at a kid that scored over 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. I mean, there's only one other player that's done that, and that's Angel McCaughtry, and I think she's pretty good. So she's right up there with the best of them. I couldn't be more proud of her. I'll miss seeing her in practice. There's no question.
Question in the back.
Yeah. Was Danbury very much a part of your scouting report?
Oh yeah, no, she definitely was a part of our scouting report. She drives the thing. We knew she was a driver. She attacked the rim. I've got to give her credit for stepping up and going 4 or 5 from the free throw line. She hit some big free throws, but yeah, she was on the scouting report. We knew that, but unfortunately, we just it was a great basketball game. I mean, it was just a great game.
Question here in the second row.
Jeff, some of these swings, the sand foul and the three at the end, and the Eagles three at the end of the third quarter too. Was there one from your chair that stuck out the most, was the most impactful? And how did you get your team looking?
No, it was a game of runs, some big time shots by big time players. Obviously, Johnson's three was huge. Obviously, sends the game to overtime. But there's plays in the first half. I just told our kids in the locker room, everybody's going to look at that play and be like, man, that's the play of the game. I've got about 6 of them that I can show you from the first half where we didn't communicate, we didn't switch like we were supposed to, and we give up a layup on an out-of-bounds play. Well, that's just as critical as that last shot. But everybody, it's sports, which is great. Everybody remembers the wow moment. They don't look all the way back and go, man, if you get that stop there, you win by 2. But that possession there, it was just a hard-fought game. I'm happy for Vic. Vic's a great friend. That's a part of this job that's tough. You build friendships with people, and then you're out there trying to beat them. And as bad as it hurts for me and my players, you're crazy if there's not a little bit of you that's like, he's a good friend. And, I'll be watching him, unfortunately, on Sunday instead of us.
We have time for one last question.
I got all day.
Right here.
Just in terms of Maisha's future, what do you think she brings to a WNBA team?
Well, I think she brings power, brings strength. She can play inside out. She'll continue to work on her three-point shot, but I think she has the ability to extend to that range. Rebounding, she's got a chance to have a pretty long career in the WNBA and then playing overseas.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Columbus and everybody here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful event. You guys, the Columbus has done a fantastic job, the committee, everybody. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Louisville locker room will be open until 10:02. soon as they come down here, yeah. I'm trying to find out when that will be. What? Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Hold them up. Mississippi State's locker room is now open. Are we ready? Are the waters up there? Yep, they're good. All right, yeah, find out when it closes and just let me know. And they are joining us on the dais now. Okay. Yeah, we're ready. Is Coach here? Yeah. Great. Joining us on the dais for Mississippi State, head coach Vic Schaefer, student athletes Tiara McCowan, Victoria Vivians, and Rashonda Johnson. We'll open with a statement from Coach Schaefer, and then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Nobody, she got no dick. Oh.
Give me 1 minute.
Sure thing.
With nobody. That's what's up.
No, I'm not high-fiving you on that.
Okay.
No.
You want Tash? I said, I was dead.
Y'all ready? Wow. I so proud of my team today, as I have been all year. But we talk about when things get a little bit tough and too tough for most people. When it gets really, really hard, that's when it gets about right for us. And today was pretty tough. You're down 3 with, I don't know, 11 or 12 seconds left, and not much, you're going to have to do something right. And a lot of people are going to have to do it right. And I thought we executed really well on a sideline out of bounds play. We had put Blair in and ran her off, and the whole group seemed to run with her as a decoy, and we brought Rowe out the backside, and T really set a tremendous screen for her, but you still got to make the shot. And I thought, obviously, when you're in that position, there are a lot of things you got to do well in that spot. I want to really congratulate Jeff and his team and his program. What a heck of a game they played. I have so much respect for him, his staff. I've known them all a long time. Asia is such a tremendous player. When you have to go against somebody like that, you better have somebody that can lock her down. And I thought Rowe started, and then Jordan Danbury comes off the bench and plays 26 minutes. Really did a nice job defensively on her, held her to 6 for 17, and has 10 points, 4 rebounds for us. And really, that kid's not played half that many all year, but was really playing well today, hit some big free throws for us. So when you get in these ball games like this and you play a great team like Louisville, you're going to have somebody on your bench step up. And I thought Jordan did that for us. This one, what do you say about T? 25 and 21. She's done it all year against the best competition in the country, the best coaches in the country. She did it tonight on the biggest stage you can do it on. Plays all 40 minutes, 6'7". Huh?
45.
Sorry, all 45 minutes. I stand corrected. It's just hard to do for anybody. It's hard for Morgan Williams to do, or anybody in a smaller size, but you put Tiara McCowan out there and she's dragging everybody up and down the floor, and then competing every possession. She wants to get them all. I'm telling you, she wants every rebound. And you can see that as she's playing, how hard she plays. But just so proud of these kids we talk about toughness all the time, competitive spirit. And I just thought today it was really special with them. I've said it all year. I don't have the words, y'all, for when this is over. These 4 seniors, I don't have the words. So at least now, I didn't have to have anything. I wouldn't have had anything prepared today. At least now we're going to play the last game of the last year, and maybe we'll figure it out when we get to there. But just really proud of our group again today, and I thought their toughness won out.
Thank you, Coach. We will take questions for the student athletes. We'll start right here on the side.
Victoria. It was a really slow start offensively. What did you guys have to do to start getting things going?
We just had to settle down and play our game. Like Tierra said once before, we just didn't need to get out of our bodies. We just need to stay calm and do what we do best.
Question right here.
Ladies, congratulations. T for all the points and all the rebounds. Coach mentioned the screen. Can you take us through that play, what you did to get Roe open on the screen, and then if you can talk about 25 rebounds career high?
Well, on the screen, we set up the play for, well, they thought we were going to go to Blair. So once I seen everybody shift, I took one fake back, and then I went and screened for Roe, and I got her girl like in the middle of the free throw line. And so I knew she was going to be open when she threw her the ball, and Roe knocked down a shot. And as for the rebounds, Coach always says, go get them all. So that's what I try to do, is go get them all.
Question here in the aisle.
Coachable.
Bro, you were 2 out of 5. I think the Louisville coach even mentioned that or whatever, but he said maybe the biggest basket of your career. Take us through that from the standpoint of having the confidence to take that shot. What was going through your mind?
I mean, shooters never give up on their shot, and I feel like even when I was missing, I knew that I wasn't going to stop shooting just because I wasn't making it, and I feel like my teammates got me open, and my coach, he drew up an excellent play, and we just had to go out and execute it, and when I hit the shot, I mean, it made me 1 for 3.
Question here in the front row.
Hi, I'm Tanya Kelly from Pulse. But this question is for Victoria. How are you feeling right now, going back to the championship? You know, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I'm feeling good. You know, I hope they feeling good too. But it means a lot because this is our second time doing it, and we still like making history for our school. I just feel like this year we gonna have to execute and finish it all out and be on top this time.
Question here in the aisle.
Victoria, you were out with 4 fouls, and they pushed the lead to 7. You came back in, and immediately it was like a 10-0 run. What was it like watching the game start to maybe get away from you, and then how were you able to affect the game when you came back in and played with 4 fouls?
I don't feel like the game got away from me. I just feel like I had to slow down, focus, and be mature about what I was doing at the time because my team needed me. And when I got back in, I was making a smart decision. And I guess in overtime, I did make a smart decision, and I fouled out. But, hey, my team finished it out well. I'm proud of them.
Question here.
Yeah, Tierra, speak of that, though, that Victoria just spoke of a while ago. You guys had that huge win last year, you know, and then didn't finish it up. I mean, how much has that driven you guys? Everybody keeps talking about how UConn's been driven by that loss, but how much does that drive y'all that you didn't finish your business last year?
It drives us because, you know, we didn't do all the small things that Coach talked about. You know, sometimes as players, we blow the coaches off and say, yeah, okay, we'll do it in the game. Well, sometimes in the game, you can't, you know, just turn it on like that. So, I mean, we focus on boxing out, rebounding, playing plays out, and that's what's gotten us to where we are today.
Question here from Adam.
Terry, you're doing so well.
Thanks.
Coach Walsh said that you were the biggest difference between the teams, that they were going to try to push you out to keep you off the offensive board. You only had 5 shot attempts in the first half, but we've talked all season about the wearing effect. They tried multiple players on you. How much did you sense the wearing effect and picking up scheme as the game went on?
Well, I mean, they were subbing them out, so I didn't really know who I had. So, I mean, I guess I was wearing on them pretty good.
Question right here.
Tierra, congratulations, right here. I just wanted to know whether you had talked to Vic before the game about, you know, were you going to be in for the duration? When did you realize that, you know, you would be potentially playing all 40 and then all 45? And just down the stretch, how you managed to, it seemed, gain steam. You know, even in OT, you're making those plays that define the game in the final minute.
Well, in practice, we play, Bulldog. It's like a little scrimmage for 5 minutes. And so, like, it's the toughest 5 minutes ever. So, I mean, that just really prepares me in the game. You don't get any subs, so you just going 3 games, 5 minutes, 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. So, yeah, just going, competing.
Question in the middle there.
Yeah, Tierra, back to you again. I told you in the hall before the game started, you know, I saw you making those faces on television after the in the interview at the end of the regional. But what was that look on your face as you at the end of the game tonight? It was a scowl. How would you describe it? What did it mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you know, I just was feeling. I was in the moment. You know, just came up with a face.
The final question right here.
Welcome to my world.
This is for Victoria. This is for Victoria. Obviously, you guys tied the game. There's that wild sequence at the end. What did it almost take some pressure off you guys going into overtime? What were you guys saying to each other before overtime started?
Yeah, it take pressure off because we know we're an overtime team. Like, if it's overtime, we say it's our time, it's our game, and ain't no way they was gonna stop it. So I feel like everybody just locked in, locked down, and they knew what it was time to do, and we came out with the win.
Great. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
They will
you.
be available in the locker room until 10:18.
Yes, they were.
We'll take questions for Coach Schaefer. We'll start right here with Adam in the front.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, Adam.
You have so many weapons, but what in that final sequence had you draw the play up for given what was already said about where she was tonight up until that point?
Well, I don't think you can get caught up into, you know, where she is tonight. I mean, I've seen that kid for 3 years now. I've said it for 3 years. She's a pro. She's going to get to play basketball a long time after Sunday. And she wants to be in that moment. Her and Blair, I could have picked either one, but I really felt like they were going to run with Blair. I thought she'd be a great decoy. And plus, we were on this side, and we brought it back to her left hand. So that was the side that you want to bring it to Roe on. And so I just felt really confident. It's a play we've run, you know, several times. Not a lot lately, so if you hadn't gone back a ways, you might not get that in your scout. But I thought when Blair took off across the top, they were running with her, and I knew the back end would come wide open if T could just catch half of her, and she caught all of her. And you know, Roe then's got to make a shot. I mean, let's face it, it's the biggest shot of the night of your career on the biggest stage you're ever going to play on. I don't care where she plays after this. That stage out there tonight's the biggest stage you're ever going to play on, in my opinion, and it's going to have the most ramifications. So, you know, I've got a lot of confidence in Rashonda Johnson. She's been somebody we've just been really blessed to have, and she's made the difference in our team many nights, as you know.
Question here in the aisle.
Vic, you got big performances from a lot of players tonight, but what Jordan Danbury gave you off the bench, what kind of contribution did she have, and did you expect you'd get as much out of her as you did tonight?
I don't think I expected that much. I don't know that I expect her to play 26 minutes. She hasn't played 20 minutes, I don't think, all year. But she was really doing a good job defensively. We were doing a poor job rebounding. Jeff does, his team is so relentless on the boards. That's their toughness. And we knew going in, we've had 2 really bad days, y'all, of rebounding in practice. And it's not something we've had an issue with, but we've had 2 bad days of it, and it reared its ugly head tonight. And Jordan gives us that rebounding edge at the guard spot. And so, but I thought she was doing a really good job on Asia. And, you know, between her and Roe, just trying to rotate fresh people on her, giving her a different look. Both of them maybe lack a little size, but boy, they bring a lot of quickness and savvy. And so just trying to do that. And, you know, at the end of the night, Jordan really was the difference, I think, in a lot of areas for us. Both ends, obviously.
Question right here.
Yeah, Vic, I mean, Victoria's had a lot of great games in her career, but this seemed like one of her best, just getting you buckets during those tough minutes when it was hard for you guys to find offense. Not much of a statement, I guess, more of a statement than a question.
Yeah,
But she
yeah.
played like an All-American tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she had, you know, she gets 25, and, you know, I wouldn't have guessed she had 25. It was pretty quiet, but she made a couple of big threes when we needed them. You know, her start was not what I wanted it to be. But again, when you need a bucket, she's a good one to go to. And, you know, we went with her and T both, just trying to isolate them a lot, you know, down the stretch. And Victoria's been in that moment, as you know, all her life. You score 5,700 points in your high school career. you've probably done that a bunch. And to do it, and then she's done it for us for 4 years. So, you know, I can't think of anybody better to have the ball in her hands, you know, in that moment when you're really dying on the vine and you need a bucket. And she's just, you know, tonight struggled a little bit defensively, then picked it up, struggled rebounding a little bit and picked it up. But it's just like last year. Remember, she fouled out last year in this game. I don't think she's fouled out but twice, y'all, in 2 years, and it's both in the semifinals in overtime, killing me. So.
Question right here in the front.
With a game that was so passionate and so physical, how do you get your group to regroup for Sunday with a possible rematch of last year?
Well, no matter who we play, I think it's real important from this moment on that we do some things a little different. The fact that we were able to play in the first game and not the second game. You know, last year we walked out of this arena, went back to the Lowe's Anatole Hilton Hotel, or not Hilton, Lowe's Anatole Hotel in Dallas, Texas, and walked through the lobby at 1:35 in the morning. And there were 5,000 people waiting on us. I mean, you talk about an amazing atmosphere, but still, you're walking out of there really late. And so, you know, tomorrow will be different. Coach Schaefer will do some things different. I've already had planned it if we advanced. There's just got to be a way that I need to manage it differently. And so we will. You know, our kids, especially those 4 seniors, they got one left. We've had this opportunity before. Didn't go the way we wanted to. It doesn't matter who we play tomorrow, y'all. It's both those teams are monsters. Super talented, well coached. You know, it's the best of the best. So you better be ready. And I think our kids, you know, we'll do everything we can to get them ready.
Question in the very back row.
Cheryl Coward, Hoopfeed.com. In the short time you have to celebrate before Sunday, you can look at Tara's 25 rebounds, putting you guys in the record books for Final Four record. Any thoughts on that?
Well, again, she's an All-American. It doesn't surprise me. I'm just really proud of her development, continue to be proud of her development in so many areas, not just as a basketball player. You know, tonight, we all were out there. I mean, she's got a couple people hanging on her most of the night, and, you know, that can wear on you a little bit. She was able to really control her emotions, I thought, tonight in a really positive way, and that's some growth for her. And so proud of her, and but am I surprised? I'd have to say no. I've seen her get 30 and 20 in our league. The kid's done it night after night after night. So she's a warrior. If there's a better 5 player in the country, y'all bring her. I'd like to see her because she is an absolute monster. I love her to death. I'm not trading her for anybody.
2 final questions. We'll go right there and then here.
Vic, I think you guys kind of arrived in the eyes of the, I guess, general sports fan public last year with that win over UConn, but then to follow that up with the season you guys have had and another really thrilling national semifinal, what does that say about not just your program this year, but kind of the direction the program is headed in and just how much more you guys can grow?
Well, again, I think anything, you know, we've done this year validates last year. You know, like I've said many times, I wasn't hired at Mississippi State to bring them a top 25 basketball team. I was hired to bring them a top 10 program. What you have to understand is at my university, women's basketball is very important. They give us, in women's basketball, all the resources that we need to be where we are right now. Now, what you have to also know is my fan base has changed in 6 years, and our first game might have had this many people at it 6 years ago. Now we have 10,000 a night. They all thought going into September practice, October, this was going to happen. I mean, if this hadn't happened, the sky was going to fall in Starkville. I'm just telling you. They just thought we're going to show up and we're going back to the Final Four. It doesn't obviously work that way. But my administration, our president, our athletic director, there's so much that goes into this. And you have to have the support of everyone, because you can't do it unless those people in a university are supporting you. And I think what we've shown the country is that when you get the support of the right people and there's an investment in a program, this is what can happen. You can be in Final Fours, you can play for national championships, you can have 10,000 a night at your games. You can have a passionate fan base that make the Final Four so special for everybody. And I'm telling you, I couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be prouder to be at Mississippi State, to coach this team. The good Lord has blessed us in so many ways. And this is I think for us, this is the new norm.
Question right here.
Vic Howard Mental, High Post 2.
Howard.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, you have never hesitated to substitute players in and out. You pulled starters. You even did it tonight with Victoria. Tiara McCallum plays all 45. Did you know going in that short of foul trouble, she was going to play all 45? And why is she so indispensable for this team?
Yeah, I don't think I go into any ball game thinking, I don't have a minute number, but obviously Tiara's played a lot of minutes for us. Most games she's logging 36 plus. I need to be better getting her out with 30 seconds before media, just to get her that extra time. But you're in a ball game like this against a great team like Jeff's. I mean, I can just see me taking her out and Jeff seeing that and going at her, going at my redshirt sophomore Zion, down there. Because that's the kind of coach. I mean, he's a great coach and he's got great players and he's smart. I mean, and so I think you've got to, that's in the back of my head. And then, you know what? You want to see a scowl, take Tiara McCallum out of a game. She don't like it. It doesn't matter if we are up 20 or down 20. She does not want to come out of the game. And so, for her, I just think it's where she is. It's where we are. I'd like to get her some time here and there, but it's really hard sometimes when you're in a knockdown drag-out. And you know what? That's what makes me so proud of that kid and of course, Coach Harris, who's brought her along and developed her, is that, that she wants to. Most big kids are going, hey, Coach, they want out. Give me a blow. I'm tired. She's not that way. She wants to play. And I got a whole team of kids like that, really, though, to be honest with you. Hey, Victoria didn't like coming out tonight either, trust me. But needed to have a board with her, get her calmed down a little bit, and then she's right back in it. I thought it worked a little bit hard because she came back in, took better shot. Her first two shots I thought were a little off the chart. I want her on my chart, not her chart. And so I thought she settled in after that and really made some good decisions. So.
Anything else for Coach? Great, thank you.
All right, praise the Lord and go Dogs.
Locker room is still open until 10:18. Thank you, Coach. Good job.